Here are some top tips for putting together your statement of research. Design a project that can be done in the time available. That's a June to June time frame. If you propose a project that's a bit too big, be prepared to think about ways in which to scale it down and sharpen its focus. We want to see a good amount of focus in the statement of research. These are the primary sources I'd like to use. These are the research questions I want to ask. This is the approach or method that I'd like to adopt. This is why I think these primary sources and these methods will help me to answer these research questions, and so on. It is possible to tighten the scope of the proposal later on, but the greater the focus that you can achieve early on, the better. Build flexibility into your statement of research. Archives don't always yield what we might hope, or even contain what we thought they might contain. So it's important to be able to respond to what the primary sources are offering. Think about the wider relevance and impact of your work. Ask yourself, what might scholars not specifically interested in the thing I'm interested in, nonetheless be able to take away from my work? This is all about positioning your proposed research. In addition to the wider relevance and impact of your work, you'll also want to think about what scholars who are specifically interested in the same things as you will be able to take away from your work. In other words, what do you see your work as having to say, potentially, to maybe one or two key historians working in the same area as you, or who are engaged in one or two key historical debates that bear most directly on your work? Don't name loads and loads of historians and loads of debates. Just show us that you can position your work in a focused way by identifying one or two that are most relevant. Be ready to highlight what is original in your proposed research. Originality can take quite subtle forms, but all really good dissertations at master's level make an original contribution of some kind, and you should know how to spotlight it. Finally, think carefully about languages. Will your project involve looking at sources in other languages? Do you have the language skills to read those sources in the original language, or might you need to work with sources in translation? It's certainly possible to work with sources in translation, but you need to know whether good and reliable translations exist. Old handwriting can also be a challenge when working with pre-20th century sources, particularly medieval materials. So you might want to think about whether you may need paleographic training. I hope this has been helpful. Please see our website for further details, and thank you very much for watching.